This episode is brought to you by Set for Life Insurance. Protect yourself against life setbacks with Set for Life Insurance. Set for Life Insurance gets you disability and life insurance at a reduced cost with their exclusive discounts. Now that's why I use them. Visit www.setforlifeinsurance.com and tell them Dr. Darko sent you.
Welcome to Docs Outside the Box podcast. This is your official show, looking inside the minds of cutting-edge and innovative doctors. Think you'll find these stories in any medical textbook? Sorry. You're getting real life insight from men and women pushing the envelope beyond medicine. Ordinary doctors doing extraordinary things. Let's start now with your host, Dr. Nee Darko.
Hey docs, are you looking to learn how to become a physician leader? Then Physician CEO is for you. Physician CEO is an accelerated business immersion program designed for physicians and developed by MBA faculty from the Kellogg School of Management at Northwestern University. So learn more at www.physician-ceo.com/DOTB. What's good, everyone? Thank you very much for joining me on this impromptu episode of Docs Outside the Box. I'm not sure if I'm going to make this a series, but every now and then I want to start sharing the equipment, the setup that I'm using to produce Docs Outside the Box. I get a lot of questions, whether it's through email, social media, or just people just coming up to me and asking me what are my recommendations on various sorts of equipment. So I'm not sure if I'm going to make this a Tech Tuesday or how consistent I may be with this, but this is some of my thoughts on some of the things that I'm using and that you can use to help yourself get started with your podcast. Let's do quickly sound. So what I want to talk about are three things, or three types of modalities that you can use right now to get sound for your podcast. One of them being earbuds, the second being a microphone, and the third being the default laptop. And actually there's four, obviously your cell phone also. But let's start with number one, earbuds, right? Earbuds, particularly those who have an iPhone or those who bought a new cell phone. Oftentimes you'll see that there's an earbud or wired earbud system that's connected with your cell phone. And not only is it great for sound, but you'll oftentimes find a small little connection right below the right side of your earbud piece, and that's for your microphone. I oftentimes use this during my interviews to listen, but I also use a real microphone to actually talk. But also sometimes I use the earbuds for editing also. And then there's times when I'm just in a bind and I really quickly want to record something and I want to listen and I also want to record, but I don't feel like pulling out my microphone. I'll oftentimes use the earbuds to perform an interview. I think the sound quality from earbuds are okay. They're not great. They're not horrible. They're just kind of in between. If you want to hear an example of what earbuds sound like when you're using them for your podcast, take a listen here. What's up? What's good? Welcome back to another episode of Docs Outside the Box. I'm your host, Dr. Nee Darko. What do you think? So like I said, it's not too bad. It's not great. It's just kind of in between, right? I think ultimately you're never going to outdo NPR, right? NPR's audio quality is phenomenal. But I think this is a really good start for someone who wants to start off podcasting but is not sure exactly how long they want to keep this up for, or they just are on a very low budget. I'm talking about these earbuds cost anywhere between $3 to $7 on Amazon. The next choice, which I think is the choice that I think most podcasters who want to be very consistent and want to make sure that they have superior audio quality, is the Audio-Technica 2100 USB microphone. This is a cardioid microphone, which means that basically everything in front of the microphone gets picked up by the microphone. For the most part, everything behind the microphone won't get picked up. This microphone is portable. The sound quality is amazing, and I think it offers the best combination of cost as well as quality. And right now you can get it for $69 on Amazon. The other really great thing about it is it has a built-in headphone jack, so there's no sound lag when you're doing your interviews and you want to hear your guest and you want to be able to respond in a very timely fashion. So here is a sound clip of what the Audio-Technica 2100 sounds like. What's up? What's good? Welcome back to another episode of Docs Outside the Box. I am your host, Dr. Nee Darko. What do you think about that one? That's pretty good, right? That is really good. I love that quality. Obviously a step up from the earbuds. Now the next one is, and this is the third choice, is the default microphone that's on your desktop or on your laptop. Usually if you're using a desktop, is associated with your webcam. And the microphone really isn't that good. As a matter of fact, I don't recommend this type of setup for people who are doing a podcast, specifically a podcast where you're interviewing someone and they are going to be talking, and not only are the speakers going to be putting out their voice, but there's a really strong chance that the microphone that's also located on the same computer will pick up their voice during the interview. So you're going to end up having a huge echo effect, and it sounds like you're speaking almost in a hallway. And I really feel like the audio is very distracting, and I think your audience members are going to feel the same way also. So as a result, because of all this, I oftentimes tell people I don't even recommend you record with your laptop microphone if you can help it. Here's an example of what it sounds like. What's up? What's good? Welcome back to another episode of Docs Outside the Box. I am your host, Dr. Nee Darko. And now the last choice I would recommend above using a laptop desktop is your cell phone. Obviously, you make phone calls on it every day. You speak to people on a daily basis with it, so you know the quality of your cell phone. The microphone within a cell phone is top notch. Obviously, it's not on the same level as the ATR 2100, but I think the call quality that you can get from that is something that you can expect to hear the same on a podcast. So in terms of order, I would recommend 1, an ATR 2100, number 2, earbuds, and number 3, your cell phone. And then last but not least is you could always use something called Uber Conference Call or 1-800-conferencecall.com, where you can have your guests call in, and you call in and you can have that phone conversation and be able to transcribe that and put that on a podcast very easily. I've done that a couple of times and it's worked out great. But that's pretty much it, guys. This is a really quick Tech Tuesday tip on how you can get your audio quality to sound really great. I'll talk to you all in the next one. Peace.